The South Korean ferry disaster, expert tips for property buyers and sellers, and a DIY Easter treat. Welcome to Globe Now, I'm Madeleine White. It's been over 24 hours since a ferry carrying over 450 people sunk off the coast of South Korea. Yesterday there was incredible footage from the rescue helicopters, but that's not the case today. Search crews have been hampered by strong currents and low visibility. Nearly 300 people are still missing. Officials are trying to sort out the details of what led to the sinking. They are investigating reports that the vessel went off course. The captain of the ferry has said little other than apologizing to the families of those still missing. Many of those families have traveled to the port city of Mokpo, where survivors are recovering. And thanks to some unverified text messages, we're starting to get a sense of their grief and what happened on board. One text reads, "Mom, I'm sending this now because I'm afraid I might not be able to say it later. I love you." In another, a brother tries to soothe his trapped sibling, saying, "Keep calm, don't panic, take your time, stay sharp, and do as they say." Unfortunately, survivors are saying that once the ferry started to tilt, passengers were told to stay where they were. A South Korean broadcast showed some alleged cell phone footage showing the steep angle of the boat and young people in life jackets cowering in personal lockers. But as the hours tick by and conditions continue to hamper the search, the likelihood that any left on board will survive lessens. The Canadian Real Estate Association recently released numbers for March showing that the spring home buying season was off to a bit of a sluggish start. But will things heat up for May and June? John Pasalis is a real estate broker, and he joins me now to give us his insight. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me.
So traditionally, spring is a really busy month. I know personally from anecdotes that some homes get multiple offers.
Yep.
Why is this?
Spring's the busiest time primarily because most buyers want to be kind of purchased and moved in by the summer. So to be moved in by June, July, August, you basically need to buy a house in April and May. And a lot of that's driven by people wanting to be moved in, usually if their parents before the school year starts.
So basically it's to work around people's vacation schedules.
Basically.
So what are your kind of top two tips for people who are out there buying homes in the spring?
At first is in this competitive market, it's important to know what a house is worth. List prices are not accurate reflection of value. So buyers need to do their homework and really understand what the value is before making an offer and make sure they're not overpaying. And the other is looking for gems in houses that aren't staged. There's a lot of houses out there that aren't getting multiple offers, and a lot of times it's just because they're not staged and prettied up, basically.
So having a keen eye out there.
Exactly.
So also in terms of affordability, though, especially for first-time buyers, are condos the way to go?
They're definitely an option, especially for single buyers. When it's a dual income, the fact that you can still buy a house in the 6 to 7 range with two incomes on the subway line in Toronto is why the market's so competitive. And I think once those house prices are gone and it costs around $800 to $900, condos are going to be the only option. Yeah.
So what are your tips for people who are putting their homes on the market this spring?
For sellers, it's probably along the same line as the opposite of what I gave buyers. You basically want a stage. It makes a significant difference, probably in the range of around 10% between a house that's not staged and one that is. And staging is really about making it look great, doing minor repairs and renovations that make it look, make people fall in love with it when they see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
To read more about how property prices have changed in your Toronto neighborhood, look for the Spring Home Value Survey in Friday's Globe and Mail and check out our interactive map online. And now we're going to shift gears a bit. This weekend is the Easter long weekend, and for many, it'll involve chocolate. Lots of chocolate if you're like me. But if you really want to earn your chocolate treats, why not make them yourself? Our Chef Basics host, Matt DeMille, shows you how.
What could be better than these chocolate Easter eggs filled with vanilla buttercream? The ones that you're going to make yourself at home. And this is a great opportunity to get the kids involved. Start with one 8-ounce package of cream cheese and a 1/4 pound of unsalted butter. Both softened by leaving them at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours or popping them in a microwave for 30 to 45 seconds on medium power. Mix together and stir in 1 teaspoon salt. Add 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar and 1 cup at a time, along with 1 teaspoon vanilla, and mix well. Mixing by hand will produce a denser filling that is easier to shape into eggs. This is a good workout and makes the reward that much tastier. Place the mixture in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes. The filling needs to be firm but not frozen, so check it from time to time. You can mix things up by adding 3/4 cup of peanut butter or shredded coconut to the buttercream mixture. Line a cookie tray with wax paper and set aside. Dust your hands with a bit of confectioner's sugar to prevent sticking and form the filling into egg shapes with your hands. Place the shaped eggs on the cookie sheet and return to the freezer for another 20 to 25 minutes. Do not let them freeze. Melt 4 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips in a double boiler or in your microwave. Dip the eggs into the melted chocolate, spooning chocolate over top to coat. Try to keep the chocolate coating thin and let the excess drip back into the bowl. The eggs can be placed in the freezer for a few minutes to harden. These Easter eggs are going to last up to 2 weeks in the refrigerator, but let's be honest, they will not last that long.
Well, that's it for today's Globe Now. If you've got thoughts on any of our segments, maybe you have some strong feelings about the real estate market, is it out of control in your opinion? Let us know. You can find us on Twitter @GlobeNow. I'm Madeleine White. Thanks for watching.